Get off the track and into the streets. Camden Entertainment and Naira Bets are proud to present At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga. A weekly behind-the-scenes discussion throughout the Saratoga horse racing season. Hosted by nationally recognized racing expert and analyst Andy Serling. Tonight's show is also brought to you in part by Capital OTB and the Daily Racing Form. Now, live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga, here's Andy Serling.
Good evening and welcome to Parting Glass and At the Post Live. I want to thank everybody for coming. Big Travers Week crowd here. I think it's bode well for the weekend. A beautiful weekend, a great weekend of racing. The man to my right after Saturday might be the second most hated person in Saratoga besides me. Because the man to my right, and you guys know him, right? Dallas Stewart. He needs no introduction. Dallas is one of racing's greatest friends, and he trains Forever Unbridled, and we'll get to her. She's running against some horse named Songbird on Saturday. So, Dallas, you're like Mr. Saratoga. I mean, you guys go around Saratoga, right? How often do you go out and not see Dallas? How do you do it, Dallas?
Well, I just love it. You know, I love Saratoga and love being here, the racing, and just everything. You
really do enjoy it, and you're around a lot. How long have you been coming here?
About 25 years.
First year when you worked for Wayne Lucas?
Well, I've been on my own 20, and I came up here about 5 for him.
So, but you had worked for him before that, right? Was he the first person you worked for in racing?
No, I mean, I got on the track when I was like 14, so I worked for various different guys, and I hooked up with him when I was like 26.
Really? So you were over 10 years at the track. How did you end up going to the track? Was it a family thing, or?
My grandfather gave me a horse. Nobody really in racing in my family, and where I kept a little riding horse, they had some race horses resting, and just started helping them out, cleaning stalls, learned to gallop, went right to the track, and never looked back.
Where was this?
New Orleans.
And you grew up in New Orleans?
Yes, sir.
It's a great city, right?
Who dat?
I got to come visit you and Tom Amos this winter, right?
Come visit me.
not Amos.
You have more fun with me.
I think I'd have more fun with you than probably anybody.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's probably true. So you were. How did you hook up with Wayne Lucas? How did that come about?
It was kind of random. Randy Bradshaw brought a couple of horses down to run in some stakes there. I went over and talked to him, and he was going to Minnesota that summer. So I decided to go up there. Went to work for him, and that's the way it went.
And you were working at Canterbury for Wayne Lucas.
Canterbury, yeah.
Was that when they first opened? Was that like
second year?
Wow, it was pretty exciting up there at that time, right? I mean, Canterbury had a lot going on.
I mean, you know, it was great. The people were very nice. We had nice horses, and that was, you know, my first experience to being around really nice horses. And Randy Bradshaw took a liking to me, and you know, that's the way things go.
Does Randy is he still involved? He's involved in the game. He doesn't work with Wayne anymore, though.
No, he has his own farm in Ocala. He breaks horses, sells pin hooks. Still talk to him quite often.
And who are some of the horses that you were involved with when you worked for Wayne?
Well, Winning Colors was probably the main one. I was an exercise rider and galloped her the Derby week. We won
really?
the Derby with her, yeah. So.
You were galloping her leading up the Derby?
Yeah, I mean, we had a guy in California getting on her. He did a great job, but when she came to Kentucky about a week before the Derby, 10 days, she got really strong. And Jeff Lucas, he was coming back from the track with her. And I said, man, how'd she go? He says, I've been thinking about it. You're going to have to get on her. I'm like, what? The Derby favorite, you know, you're going to change riders a week before the race, and he did, and I got the job done, and that's the way it went.
Yeah, well, they were funny about riders. Wayne he was funny about jockeys even, right? Wayne was somebody who...
Yeah, he don't like them very much.
Yeah, he didn't feel... Right. I'm glad I'm not alone. We don't have any odds tonight, so I can be mean. Wayne didn't feel beholden. He always felt he could replace a rider even after he won a race.
Yeah, he said we paid him after a while. What's the difference? Get it better when they all cost the same. That was the way he felt.
And he had some great in and outs with Pat Day. I remember Northsider of Philly. Were you working for him at that time? And Pat sort of fell asleep in the Hempstead at Belmont. And he didn't ride him for over a year.
Ball 4.
Right. That was the horse, Northsider, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so Winning Colors wins the Derby. Who other horses did Wayne have? Well, Open Mind. Were you around her?
Oh yeah, was around her a lot. You know, he had talent in him. I mean, shoot. That was through the years that I was galloping, and then later on I was a assistant trainer for him. You know, we won the Derby with Winning Colors, Thunder Gulch, Grindstone. We won 6 Triple Crown six Triple Crown races in a row with 3 different horses. People don't forget that. Serena's Song. I mean, you're talking about some serious race horses there.
She was an incredible. She's the kind of horse, and not, I know that, people get mad at me about Songbird, but the reason I get upset about something is that people forget horses like Serena's Song when they say whenever they say this is the greatest horse of all time, the greatest filly of all time. Serena's Song, man, bring up her PPs. She was unbelievable.
She won the race at Turfway. She won the Haskell. I mean,
almost won the Whitney, right? She was in front, and Mahogany Hall ran her down.
Yeah, something like that, I believe. Yeah, but she was just an amazing racehorse, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Larry was she the horse? I think Larry Coleman said he almost blew the call. He said Serena's Song. He called her like home, and some horse was coming and just missed nailing her late. But she lose to a Oxley horse for John Ward, finished second, I think, in that race.
I can't remember.
Pyramid Peak, maybe. Does that sound right?
I don't know. I just remember she won a lot of races.
She was incredible. She ran every 2-3 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Wayne ran her.
Well, he whipped her back after she ran in the Derby. She ran last. She ran the fastest 3/4 ever recorded in the history of the Derby, and she was so tired.
She dueled with 49er. Woody sent 49er after he couldn't catch her, right? He sent.
No, you're wrong.
He didn't send 49er after
49.
I'm never wrong.
49.
Get this guy out of here. Who is this guy?
49 ran against Winning Colors. He took her.
I meant Winning Colors. Oh, who are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Song.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Oh, maybe you were right once. But
49er did duel with Winning Colors, right? In the previous, right? What he said. Okay.
Not Serena's Song.
I believe he said that something will never beat me again, or
but
something.
He ran her back in 13 days, and I thought he was crazy. But he whipped her back in 13 days in the Black Eyed Susan, Serena's Song. She went from here to where? Country Corner Cafe.
Wayne ran them. Wayne ran those horses. He was amazing. So, getting back to you, sort of in your life, how do you divvy up your year besides being in Saratoga? You're in Kentucky, part of it, and New Orleans for much of the winter.
Well, after here, we'll go back to Kentucky. We have the sale, and then Churchill has a small meet. We have Kentucky Downs. I don't have a lot of grass horses, but we'll do that. Then Keeneland in October. Churchill in November, and then down to New Orleans.
I'm coming to Keeneland. Simon, you going to be in Keeneland in October? I'm coming to Keeneland this October. I like Lexington's great, right? Got a place in Lexington?
Not fun as New Orleans.
I got to go to New Orleans, I know. So let's talk about Forever Unbridled, right? So you're taking on Songbird, and obviously Songbird has the edge in that she's really a speed horse, but you're confident that you and Joelle can pull off the upset?
I mean, listen, I just really love this filly. I mean, I think we got a great shot to get the money. It's not a big field. Hope to God we don't, have no traffic trouble. I think he'll just kind of lay back. I think he'll be looking for her at the quarter pole, find her at the quarter pole and let him duel it out from there.
Well, she ran a very good third behind Beholder and Songbird in the Breeders' Cup last year, and things worked out differently. She might have been able to win. She looked like she might win top of the stretch.
Well, it was just a great race. 2 great fillies. A little bit further, I think we might have got them, but we're hoping for a big race Saturday for sure.
She had just the one race this year at Churchill. Obviously, the competition wasn't as steep, but my impression, I heard you interviewed, I think even before the race, and you felt she probably need a race even, and she overcame a slow pace and just won for fun.
Yeah, I mean, she only had like 6 works going into that race, and a lot of good gallops, and I was really concerned that she wasn't fit enough, but she sure showed that she was, and she's trained steadily and consistent. She hadn't missed a day since then. She actually looked like she's put on some weight. She's a big, massive, strong filly, and just think about her pedigree too. I trained her mother.
And her sister.
I picked her mother out at the sale. I was part owner of her, and she won the Kentucky Oaks. And then we sold her to Chuck Fipke. That's when I went to work for him. And then he started breeding Limits Forever, and he had Unbridled Forever, who won the Ballerina. And now she's won 2 grade ones. I don't think there's a stronger family around.
No, she's been a tremendous family. He did win the Kentucky Oaks with her. And she got good for you sort of late in her 3-year-old year. She won the Cumley when she beat Carumba down at Aqueduct. And I remember you and I were texting before that race, actually pretty excited about it. You don't come visit us at Aqueduct, though.
No, I didn't make that
Queens is too tough for you?
You know, I guess I had something else. I can't remember.
Get something else to do?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember.
You're a busy guy. Yeah, she's gonna make it. I think a lot of people think, and I think even if she doesn't beat Songwriter, it's gonna be a heck of a race. I think people might be underestimating.
It's gonna be a great race.
Yeah, how tough it's gonna be. Right.
It's not gonna be no walkover. It's gonna be a good race.
And hopefully you'll bring her back for the Beldame after that because it worked out so well last year.
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. You know, I mean he might even. You know, if everything goes good, she gets through the Beldame good, and get through the Breeders' Cup good. I mean, he might even take a shot at the big race at Florida, you know. So
oh, really?
Against the boys later on. He's kind of kicked it around. So
now you trained for Chuck Fippy. You and Barkley Tagg, I think, have the bulk of his horses, and he's a gemologist. He's a diamond mines. Is that what's exactly his story?
Yeah, I mean.
Do you see him a lot? He's not around much, right?
Not a lot, but I talk to him quite a bit. I mean, he's a geologist. He's still working. He found that diamond mine at Cotty in Canada, and he's still working and digging and finding diamonds.
And that's where Tale of Akati came. He's got a diamond mine named Akati. Did not know that. And you also trained a lot for Tom Benson, who owns the New Orleans Saints and as well as New Orleans Pelicans. You and Tom Amos trained from. Who gets the better horses, you or Amos?
Well, you pick them out. You pick them out. You train them. You draft them. You train them. That's the ones you get. They just give you the money. I mean, it's great, you know. And they've done very well.
And how competitive are you with Amos about this, between us?
About what?
About the horses. You trying to make sure you do better than Tom? Because we like to make fun of Amos, right? I mean, you and I share that common
he's not in these big races or anything.
Character. He's not. He's true. You're in another race. You have Tom's ready in the. So you are making fun of Tom.
No, you made me do it. I wasn't going to do it, but you made me do it.
Yeah, you do it all. You text me all the time when I'm on the air with him. You know what you're doing. We can't help it. Tom is a great guy. You've got Tom's ready in the Forgo.
Yeah, he's a great little horse. You know, he's been a great purchase for the Bensons. We paid $140 for him. He made $800, and they sold the breed rights for about $1 million and change. So we're trying to win that elusive, that grade 1 with him. And if we can get that done, you know, stud value should go up. So
that's tougher to win the grade 1s, I think, than sometimes people realize.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of luck to do it, but we'll see.
You're a guy who's not afraid to take a shot, and you've taken your share of shots in Triple Crown races, and you've got 2 seconds in the Derby, I want to say, and maybe a second in the Preakness as well.
You're wrong again. 2 seconds in the Derby, 2 seconds in the Preakness. All this writing he's got down here, he messed it up. He left that grade 1 off.
That's so shocking to me. You've got 1 second. It's so shocking you've got 1 second that I couldn't believe it could have been 2. But you know,
it's a tough game. I mean, you got to be tough.
It's. I mean, do you, when you're training and you get 2-year-olds, obviously, do you sort of train you backwards, thinking obviously the ultimate goal is to get the Triple Crown races and try to figure out how to get there?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you got. You know, like this year, I've got this colt up here. He's a Star Guitar Louisiana bred, and he's been way.
He ran second. Yeah. He's a runner, that horse.
Well, all training, all spring, and early summer, he's been way ahead of all the rest of them. So now you're thinking, man, this might be the horse for next year. We'll see.
What's his name again?
Give Me a Minute.
And he finished second to a very impressive first-time star that wired the field, right?
Yeah, for Wayne Lucas.
For Wayne, yeah. A second-time star, actually. I think he beat.
Correct.
Right. Todd had one they really liked in there. I think
his name was.
He'll be in the hopeful, I imagine.
He'll be in there. Yeah. I'm gonna go in the hopeful with him.
You're taking the shot in the hopeful. Who owns him?
Mr. Murray Valine from New Orleans.
Wow. And the hopeful's a maiden. You did that before for Mr. Benson, right?
Right. It was 4th, but it looks like there's a lot of speed in there, so we should be running late. Maybe we'll get a piece of it.
All right. And you go back to Kentucky after this?
Back to Kentucky. Get ready for the sale. Buy some more horses.
Everybody goes to the sale. We go back to Belmont, and no trainers are there for like 3 weeks, and everybody's at Keeneland. It's amazing.
That's what we got to do. We got to get these young horses and try to find lightning in a bottle, right?
But you're not leaving until the bitter end, right? You're staying till Labor Day, right?
I'll probably stay.
All right, Dallas Stewart, thanks so much for joining us.
What a great guy.
Always a pleasure.
Loves racing, does a great job.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it a lot, Dallas. Thanks a lot. Good man. We'll be rooting for him. So if you're Songbird fans and she happens to lose to Forever and Bride, at least you'll say to yourself, a good guy beat her. Stay with us. We come right back. Speaking of Songbird, At the Post Live is brought to you by Championship Friday at the Breeders' Cup. Come see champion filly Songbird take on the world, the Distaff. Great seats still remain for Breeders' Cup Friday. Log on to breederscup.com/tickets.
Your station for New York sports. 104.5 The Team.
Sign up for Naira Bets and get up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus. With Naira Bets, you can play hundreds of tracks nationwide at any time using your computer or mobile device. And as a Naira Bets member, you get exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga. Sign up at NairaBets.com, enter promo code Andy200 to earn up to a $200 sign-up bonus. That's NairaBets.com, promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships November 3rd and 4th promises to be the biggest racing event in the storied history of Del Mar. With global interest in the event and top thoroughbreds from all over the world, tickets have been selling quickly. There are still reserved seats for Breeders' Cup Friday, November 3rd, as well as tickets to the Taste of the Breeders' Cup Infield Festival both days, but all tickets must be purchased in advance. To purchase tickets, call 877-TIX-4-CUP. That's 877-TIX, the number 4-CUP. Or go to breederscup.com/tickets and get your seat today.
Belmont Child Care Association. Save the date for the 20th annual Racing for the Children Dinner and Auction. Belmont Child Care Association's Sugar Plum Soiree, honoring Paul Saylor, August 23rd at the Hall of Springs. BCCA assists the backstretch families by providing quality child care and education for all the children of the working families of Naira's thoroughbred racetracks every day of the week, year-round. Visit BCCA at www.belmontchildcare.org for more information and to make a donation. On sale now, Saratoga Clocker Reports. From DRF's Mike Walsh and Mike Vesey, featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Visit drf.com/clocker for more. And new this summer, DRF Clocker Reports for Del Mar. Get them both now at drf.com/clocker.
Since 2009, the Brave Will Foundation has been a driving force in the commitment to pediatric palliative care efforts in the greater capital region of New York. Help us support children facing challenging, life-threatening illnesses by celebrating willpower every day.
Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. During Saratoga, Capital OTB has you covered, from live broadcasting on the backstretch to racing selections online and themed promotions. Capital OTB has over 70 branch and easy bet locations. Find a site map on CapitalOTB.com or open an account at CapitalOTBBet.com. CapitalOTBBet.com is Capital OTB's interactive account wagering platform with streaming, virtual tote board, handicapping tools, and more. Get in the game with Capital OTB.
Sign up for Naira Bets and get up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus. With Naira Bets, you can play hundreds of tracks nationwide at any time using your computer or mobile device. And as a Naira Bets member, you get exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga. Sign up at NairaBets.com, enter promo code Andy200 to earn up to a $200 sign-up bonus. That's NairaBets.com, promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
You're listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga, and it is presented by Naira Bets. Sign up to Naira Bets and get a $200 cash bonus. With Naira Bets, you can bet on any track from anywhere at any time. Use promo code Andy200 when you sign up at NairaBets.com. Naira Bets, racing's best play. And Timeform US, Saratoga PPs with David Aragona's betting strategies are now available at a 25% discount for the remainder of the meet. Just visit TimeformUS.com to sign up today. I'm really excited to have my next guest up here. My good friend Simon Bray rarely comes to Saratoga, but he has come this weekend and graced us with his presence. You all know Simon, of course, from TVG, and Simon and I work together. Simon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. Good to be here. Good to be back. I was here week 2, but obviously I'm based in California most of the year, but I'm happy to be back here.
Todd Rupp, very jealous that you were invited and he wasn't.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He invited himself to next week.
I understand why you haven't had him on. I really do.
You have to work with him.
I do. Just sit next to him.
Who's hated more, do you think, me or Todd?
It's pretty close.
It's got to be a horse race,
yeah,
right?
we go down to the steward's room, I think.
Seems to be pretty close. It is funny how, you hear stories in racing about this guy's a terrible guy and that guy's like my current boss and your ex-boss, Tony Alavato, who I love working with Tony, but until I went to work with him, everybody told me he's the worst person in the world.
Oh, he's the greatest. He's the greatest person to work for.
Right,
yeah.
Right. He's great. And
Yep.
he's as obnoxious as I am, but he's fun to work with. So, how you feeling? We'll talk.
Really good, actually. Yep. Healthy, back working at full speed.
Now, for the one person out there doesn't know, Simon suffers from multiple myeloma. How's it going with that?
Good. I was. It's actually. I just had a huge checkup about 10 days ago. So I was waiting for those results. I got them just before I came here, and everything is perfect. So we're
that's
good
great
in that
news.
department. Yeah.
Explain to people that don't know what it is. We have somebody that came actually to tonight's show and drove a long way just to meet you that suffers from the same disease.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up with this young gentleman I was talking to before the show. His father got diagnosed with multiple myeloma. I won't harp it too long on it to bore you, but basically it's a cancer of the blood in the bone marrow. I didn't know what it was. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. I'm a workout nut, so I work out like 4 or 5 days a week. One day I was in the gym. And
Just like me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was lifting some weights, and I bent down, and I heard this massive snap, and it was my back just snapped in two, literally. And after getting misdiagnosed and walking around for 2 weeks, I was finally diagnosed with a broken back. I thought that was bad enough, and then came to find out it was cancer that caused it. So turned the page after months of chemotherapy, a stem cell transplant, and I'm still undergoing chemotherapy, but it's only pills. Keeps it suppressed and knocked down, but the one thing I will say that I've learned through all of this, being healthy when it happened, absolutely helped me fly through it. Because there were people in the hospital with me that weren't, they were fighting 3 things. I was only fighting 1. But even my doctor to this day said the fact, I never underwent physical rehab. I had a 7-hour reconstructive back surgery. And I was walking 2 miles a day, like 6 days after it. So if there's one piece of advice I can give everyone, just stay healthy in case something bad happens, because believe me, it pays off.
Well, we're glad that you're healthy. Yeah. We're so glad to have you here tonight, and I think it's good that you've brought, I think, a lot of attention, as well to the disease, and you really have.
I try to. I'm not shy about it. I discuss it with everybody that I see. I raised a lot of money for a group called the MMRF, Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. Unfortunately, there's no cure for my cancer right now. They just keep it suppressed. But there's a lot of big things going on. I attend a lot of fundraisers and do a lot of work with SEA. I hope the hospital I attend in California, it's one of the leading hospitals for multiple myeloma and one of the leading research hospitals in the world. So believe me, for those people that, if you know anyone with it, there's big things coming in the next 5 years. So.
Yeah, we talked about it when I was in California last year. On other topics, so you're mostly in Del Mar. I mean, it's rare to come to Saratoga. Is it tough to read Del Mar? Is it nice to come visit us for a few days?
I like to come, because everyone asks that question, right? What's better, Del Mar and Saratoga? You can't compare it.
It's not a competition.
You've been there. You came last fall, remember?
They're both wonderful places.
Yeah, they're different in their own right. Yeah, exactly. So, I spend a lot of time in Del Mar. When I was working for Bill Martin as assistant trainer, I spent some time up here in Saratoga. So I like to get my fix of both places. So.
Saratoga, I think, is more of the town, too.
Correct.
The beauty of Saratoga and racing for so many of us is being able to come downtown and appreciate everything. Saratoga is a 24-hour a day. If you want to get up early and see the horses in the morning, there's something going on at all times involved the racetrack. What years did you actually work for Mott that you came up to Saratoga?
So I came from England in 1990, end of 92, and I worked for Bill from 93 to 99. I was up here at Saratoga about 94, 93, 94.
So, you weren't in Saratoga those other years when you were? Where were you during the meet?
Because then I started right at the bottom as a hot walker groom all the way up to assistant trainer. So when I got to assistant trainer, I just stayed. I was the guy left behind in New York in the wintertime.
Really? Oh, you were in the winter in New York?
Yeah.
Really?
3 years, yeah.
Well, it's not, it's underrated spending the winter at Aqueduct.
Right.
So Bill Mott said something very funny to you when he hired you, right? About how much you were going to be working or something?
I've said this line a lot. Can you imagine, I was a young, fresh-faced English person just getting off the boat, coming out of an English winter where it was dark, there's like 8 hours of daylight, and I landed in Miami, and I saw palm trees. I was like, oh, this is great. The track was 2 miles from the beach. So I walk up to Bill. I already knew that I was working for him. He goes, Simon, look, believe me, this job is so easy. You only have to work half a day. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, 5 to 5. The other half is all yours.
So when you went to work for Bill, that's like right around when cigar sort of emerged, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I was there through the whole cigar campaign. And I specifically remember the day that he ran that first of that streak on the dirt
at Aqueduct. Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
November day.
And I actually saddled the horse in the Cigar Mile because Bill was saddling Fraze in the Japan Cup.
Really?
So, yeah.
That was a great day. Remember who won the Remsen that day?
I don't.
Thunder Gulch.
That's right.
For Wayne Lucas won the Remsen, the race before Cigar had that big breakout win. Yeah. Now, did you go down to Florida after that, or were you still stuck in New York?
No, I'm still stuck in New York. Yeah.
Well, I was in Florida in the winter. Did you feel any better? Yeah.
I wasn't. I was stuck in New York.
So did you go to Dubai with him?
No, I didn't, because I'd been at Belmont, heading up the Belmont stable, so I didn't travel much with him. I was based with him in New York for all the time he was there. I went to Massachusetts for one trip with him, but most of the time I was in New York.
What's it like working for Bill?
It's great. Believe me, everything I learned in horse. I had the fortune of working for Henry Cecil in England, who trained the great Franco. So what I considered worked for the two greatest horsemen on both sides of the Atlantic. Bill is an unbelievable horse trainer, and I mean, it's fifth sense to him. It's very hard to learn from him because he does it by feel, and a lot of good trainers do that. Franco was the same. Henry Cecil was the same. But if you just watch and observe, it's basically like going to Harvard to be a horse trainer. He's unbelievable. You got to work though. I mean,
I'm sure
5 to 5. He didn't tell me the truth. It was 5 to 9. It was. Yeah.
Not a surprise. He's a hardworking guy. You don't. Nobody gets that successful in that business without working extremely hard.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't matter who the horses are. You've got to work hard.
Well, a trainer's job. Trainer has many caps, but I think one of the things we tend to make it a little more difficult than it is. You've either got it or you haven't. But one of the primary things you need to do is just pay attention, because horses can't talk to you, so you have to watch them day to day to see if there's any changes, and you only do that by being there day in, day out.
And when you left Belmont, you started training for Alan Paulson, who of course Bill trained for as well, right?
Yeah, that was a sticky situation.
Was it?
Yeah. So what happened, Alan Paulson he lived in Del Mar. He owned the Del Mar Country Club, and he, after Cigar got
Your worst coworker just walked by, Frank Lyons.
Oh, there he is.
He comes in, boo.
But it's a bigger crowd than when Frank was here, for sure.
Much bigger.
Yeah. So when...
there he is, Frank Lyons.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. There he is, yeah.
Grab a drink, Frank.
Yeah. Or 3.
So when, after Cigar got beat in the Pacific Classic, Alan Paulson says, I want a string of horses out here because I live out here. So Bill was reluctant to do it because he was based in New York. Saratoga was his focus. But he said, why don't you go out there, Simon? I'll send 6 horses out. We just went out with 6 horses, but they were hand-picked. We won, I think, 9 races. And then the following year, we had 12 horses and won 18 races. It was crazy. It was unbelievable.
Who are some of the better horses?
We had Dowdy, who was second in the Classic. We had a huge number behind Skip Away, third in the Classic, and we ran him on the grass. He won a couple of stakes. A filly. We had a Cena who won the Distaff. She won the Ramona, which is a great one.
But they were still for Bill, not for you.
Yeah, they were for Bill. And then at the end of the second summer I was there, I was approached by Alan Paulson to train for him, and 12 hours later, I promise you this is true. Do you remember Thoroughbred Court, Prince Salman?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, I was approached by his representatives to train for him. Yeah,
because Baffert trained for him, right?
Exactly, and they wanted a
Point Given, of course.
Yeah, so I had these 2 offers in 12 hours. It was unbelievable. I thought I was getting on a plane and just going back to New York. This all came out of the blue.
So you didn't train for both, did you?
No, I
trained for one.
I didn't know what to do, and I thought, well, just stick with what I know. I knew the Paulsons. I trained, I've been around their horses, the families, and I knew what their plan was. So I told Thoroughbred Court no. That didn't go down very well.
Because you could have trained Point Given.
Yeah, they don't like. Nice I could have trained probably.
Yeah. Nice won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, never won again, right?
But they don't like no very often, so that didn't go down very well. And then I accepted the job with Paulson, but the biggest problem I had then was having to tell Bill, because he had no idea what was going on.
Were you taking all the Paulson horses?
No, I was taking...
just the California strain.
A select group that were down in Ocala, Florida. I was allowed to choose 30 yearlings.
Bill likes to share the horses, so it probably went over really well.
So I said to Alan Paulson, I said, so you've cleared this with Bill? And he's like, no, that's your job. This was day one. So I just remember at the end of the Del Mar meet, I picked up the phone, and I was so terrified to call him because, it's awful. So I let it ring once and I hung up. I let it ring twice, I hung up. And the person I was with at the time, I said, the only thing I don't want to do is call when his wife or his family are around, because I don't think that's a good idea. So I called and I let it ring, and he picked up, and I could hear him in the car driving. And he said, he's very monosyllabic.
Right.
Simon, Bill, I need to talk to you. Okay, go ahead. He thought one of the horses were hurt. I said, are you driving? He goes, yeah. I said, I think you better pull over. And he goes, hang on, Tina's in the car. That's his wife. I was like, oh, no. So I was trying to think of, is there something I could tell him just to get out? But I went ahead and told him, and he goes, okay, we'll talk later, and that was it.
Right.
But, I mean, we're good friends this day. He talks and texts and always see him
He's
when
great.
I travel.
He's been on the show a couple times,
Yeah.
and Bill's terrific, absolutely. And it worked out. I mean, StarTac, you had StarTac who obviously went to the Kentucky Derby. You had some other nice horses for Paulson, right?
I had StarTac. He won the Generous, and he won some stakes, and he won the Secretary of Arlington.
Right.
I trained Astra. She won 2 Grade 1s. And I won like 20 stakes in 2 years. It was a good run.
There's a race named for Astra in California.
Right.
And the horse had run in it, and Greg Wolf, who worked with you and, of course, works with us on the show, he called it the Astral. Or something. You couldn't, because it said Astra 2, or something afterwards. And a friend of mine texted me and said, boy, Simon would be really happy to hear that Greg's mispronouncing the name of a horse that he trained that won a Grade 1. So you have to remind Greg about that when you see him. And Greg's obviously great to work with. You worked with TVG. So did you make like a sudden transition from training to working on television?
No, I had a public stable for a while, but, in California at that time, back in 2004, the insurance rates for trainers became out of control. And that's basically what initially forced me out of the business. My workman's comp rates went from, I think it was 70,000 to 140,000 a year in 1 year. And I didn't quite have I had some good clients, but they were sending me the third tier horses, the third tier horses, which was, that's hard to manage in California.
Especially at $140,000 a year.
Yeah. It was good. I call them sympathy horses. Big clients that they move their lower tier horses around. We'll send you one.
They say they'll send you one. It's
exactly.
not a good sign. Right?
Yeah, if every young trainer is promised,
we'll have a drink sometime.
Exactly. So, and then I started doing some things for TVG. Just they mic'd me up for a 2-week thing. They did a special and followed me around, and that's how I got into it, really.
And you've been with them for a long time now. I mean, how long have you been with them?
Since 2004.
And how's that?
It's good. Been through a lot of changes along the way, management changes, but yeah.
But a lot of the people you work with, Todd Schrupp's been there a long time.
He's been there since the start. There's a few guys. Mike Joyce, Dave Weaver, been there since the start.
And Mike and you are you brother-in-law? You're married to sisters.
Yes,
does that make you brother-in-laws?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I'm kidding. I love Mike.
He's lucky.
He's really the funniest guy ever.
Right.
Yeah. He does a good impersonation of Frank Lyons, by the way, which I'm sure you've heard a few times.
Yeah.
And obviously Paul LaDuca is working with me now, who left you guys, and you guys had fun.
I trained for him.
You trained for Paul?
I trained for Paul when he was playing for the Dodgers.
Really?
I got him the job at TVG, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they blame you for that?
Yeah, they do.
We're kidding. We love Paul. So just with TVG, mostly now, you travel, you're at Del Mar, but your wife's family has a house in Del Mar, correct?
Yeah, we have a place in Del Mar, or my wife's family does, so I'm lucky to have access to that. And then I travel, of course, when I was sick the last couple of years, I didn't travel much at all, but I got the go-ahead in the middle of last year where I could fly.
Go to Keeneland?
Yeah, back to Dubai. I was in Dubai earlier this year.
Yeah, how was that?
It was great. I've done it a couple of times. I did it on our Fox show.
Oh, right. Yeah, you were our correspondent.
Yeah,
Better
exactly.
you than me.
Yeah.
I was always deathly afraid of having to go over to Dubai.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I know. I'm just afraid of the flight. I didn't really want to go. So when we worked on Fox together, it's funny. Simon we worked together in Fox, and we had auditions,
right?
Which you weren't a part of at all. And then I get a call, and we finally hear I got the gig, and I would be working with you. How did that happen?
I don't know. I didn't get an audition. I didn't have to audition.
You didn't need one, apparently. Yeah, I'm sure that went over well with some of your coworkers.
Yeah, I did.
In working together at Fox, what was the second crazy? We had a producer named Tim Terrell, who we both like a lot. Tim is crazier than I am, and Tim and I had a huge fight one day at Keeneland. I was, of course, against American Pharaoh.
Right.
Genius that I am. And what did I give him? 5-1. Well, it was like April, and he took 5-1 that he'd win the Kentucky Derby.
Right. Exactly.
And I bet it. Yeah.
Yeah, and these two went ballistic. This is about 3 hours before a live show.
Right.
I mean, it was unbelievable to watch.
Poor Alyssa Ali, who's actually really nice and not like me and the rest of us. And she was horrified. Even Greg Wolf.
She had no idea what was going on.
The rest, Migliori's used to it. He and I would yell at each other, so he got it right away. So it was sort of fun. But we had the Fox series was fun, but it was brief. And of course, you didn't work with us much the second year.
Right, I didn't. Yeah, unfortunately, not much the second year. But yeah, it was brief. I mean, It started off slow. I think it got better towards the end, and I think there was even more room for improvement.
For me, the nicest part was meeting other people in racing. I think it was nice to meet you guys because I had an experience working with any of the guys at TVG and such.
Exactly. Well, you're locked down in Naira the whole time. Right. You don't get to travel and see many people. So yeah,
it was nice getting around. I enjoyed that quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to getting back to Keeneland. I think we got to let you go. I think we got to take a break.
No problem.
Simon Bray, we're so glad to have Simon here. He will be here all weekend, right? You're working through Sunday?
Yeah, fly back Monday.
All right.
And that's it.
Who do you like in Travers? You got an opinion? You like anybody all day long you want to leave us with before you leave?
Well, look, I loved Good Samaritan last time out, so I can't jump off that bandwagon now.
You're back on it? Why'd you like him?
Why did I like him?
Besides being Bill Mott.
Well, I mean, look. We all due respect to Bill, if that horse was in Baffert's barn, he would never have seen the turf with that pedigree. He's by Harlan's Holiday out of Pulpit. I mean, I just thought he was crying out for that. And he didn't have that explosive turn of foot that a turf horse has. He had that grind.
He's a grinder, I agree.
And I think that plays well on the dirt and with his pedigree.
He's one of the ones that can win it, no doubt. Simon, thanks so much for joining us. Simon Bray.
Thanks.
Stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by Belmont Child Care Association. Support the BCCA by making quality child care and education available for the working families of Naira's thoroughbred race tracks. Change the first 5 years of a child's life, and you change everything.
Listen to us everywhere on your smartphone with the Radio Pup app. Don't miss a minute. From your home for New York sports, 104.5 The Team.
Bet the country's best racing at Saratoga with the official betting site for Saratoga Racecourse, Naira Bets. Play Saratoga and hundreds of other tracks nationwide with Naira Bets on your computer or mobile device, at the track or on the go. Getting started is easy, and you can earn up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus by entering promo code ANDY200. Once registered, choose one of our simple depositing options and start earning rewards on every bet, plus gain exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga with a 15% takeout and 50-cent minimum. You can't always make it to the spa, so get your bets in anytime nationwide with Naira Bets. Start earning your $200 new member bonus to bet the best summer racing at NairaBets.com with promo code ANDY200. That's NairaBets.com and promo code ANDY200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships November 3rd and 4th promises to be the biggest racing event in the storied history of Del Mar. With global interest in the event and top thoroughbreds from all over the world, tickets have been selling quickly. There are still reserved seats for Breeders' Cup Friday, November 3rd, as well as tickets to the Taste of the Breeders' Cup Infield Festival both days, but all tickets must be purchased in advance. To purchase tickets, call 877-TIX4-CUP. That's 877-TIX, the number 4-CUP. Or go to breederscup.com/tickets and get your seat today.
Are you a fan of sports, fun, respect, and determination? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics New York. Special Olympics New York provides cost-free training and competition for nearly 69,000 athletes. Get involved today in one of our extreme fundraising events like the Run Dead Saratoga or the Lake George Polar Plunge to raise much-needed funds for our programs. Register today. For more information on how you can get involved, visit www.specialolympicsny.org or call 388-0790. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. During Saratoga, Capital OTB has you covered from live broadcasting on the backstretch to racing selections online and theme promotions. Capital OTB has over 70 branch and easy bet locations. Find a site map on capitalotb.com or open an account at capitalotbbet.com. CapitalOTBBet.com is Capital OTB's interactive account wagering platform with streaming, virtual tote board, handicapping tools, and more. Get in the game with Capital OTB. On sale now, Saratoga Clocker Reports from DRF's Mike Walsh and Mike Vesey, featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Visit drf.com/clocker for more. And new this summer, DRF Clocker Reports for Del Mar. Get them both now at drf.com/clocker. Saratoga Community Health Center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Primary care, dental care, behavioral health services, and now addiction medicine. Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org.
You're listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by Naira Bets and partners Capital OTB, offering a great sign-up bonus of Bet 50, Get 50 promo. Each month, open an account today and receive a free cash bonus once you have wagered $50 before month's end. Experience the online wagering platform at capitalotbbet.com with tremendous cash rewards in New York, live streaming, handicapping tools, increased funding options, and much, much more. For all your racing needs, get in the game with Capital OTB. And the Saratoga Hospital Foundation. Together, we keep the community well cared for. Thanks so much for staying with us on At the Post Live. I'm very excited to have my next guest here. I'm sure many of you know Ian Wilkes. Ian, a man deserving of much applause. Ian, of course, has McCracken in the Travers this weekend, and we'll talk about him, but it's good to see you. How have you been?
Good, thanks, Andy.
How's Saratoga treating you?
Good, I'll tell you after Saturday.
Saturday's sort of the whole pivotal week of meet, right?
Yeah, it makes the meet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not as though the whole, you went to Monmouth, obviously, and took a tough beat, but you were second in the Haskell, which isn't really bad. It's not as good as winning, though.
Yeah, I did everything bar win the race.
Yeah, you looked like you were going to win. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a long stretch. Last time you joined us, you actually were with us the first year we did the show when we were still over at Hattie's, and it was before Fort Larned won the Whitney, and so hopefully will be good luck for you.
Yeah, that's, I run into Johnny D out the back there, so we had dinner with him before I won the Breeders' Cup Classic. So it was good to see him out there.
Did you go to dinner with him tonight?
No.
Oh, if you'd known, right?
I didn't push the envelope.
There's always tomorrow night, And Fort Larned, I mean, he was obviously a very exciting horse. I mean, even winning the Whitney, but winning the Breeders' Cup Classic as well.
Yeah. He was a unbelievable fast horse, could carry his speed for a long distance, and the biggest strength he had, he could make a 5/8 mile move and take everyone out of the game. That was his strength.
Yeah, he was obviously very good. And Brian Hernandez, who rode him, also rides McCracken. And you have a long relationship with Brian.
Yeah, Brian's very underrated. I think he's as good as anyone here. You get him on the right horse, he's good.
And now Fort Larned is standing. He's standing at stud, right? I haven't seen a lot of his horses.
Yeah, the first 2-year-olds this year, and he's at Adena. He moved to Florida. He was in Kentucky his first year, went to Florida the next 2 years, and he's back at Kentucky this year.
And have you got a chance to see him at all?
I haven't this year.
But you've seen him since.
Oh yeah.
Is it fun to sometimes go back and see the horses that you trained before? I mean, do you enjoy doing that?
Oh, definitely. You love to go and see them. You like to go out and visit them. We went out and see Warriors Reward, and
how's he doing?
Needs a big horse.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He was a terrific horse.
Yeah, he was good. He was just a nice. He gets a lot of winners, but he just needs that big horse.
Yeah, he got very good as a 4-year-old as well, right? I mean, did he win the Carter, or did he lose it by a nose? And
he won it.
He won it, right? It was like in the fog, right?
Yeah.
He got like foggy. Did Ramon ride him?
No,
the second horse. He rode the second horse, I think.
Yeah, he rode Musket Man.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Julian rode him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very, very good as a 4-year-old.
Yeah. He got good. He matured. He didn't run until I think December 31st as a 2-year-old, and then he got, he was okay as a 3-year-old, solid, but he got better as a 4-year-old.
Did he run in like the Jim Dandy up here, Warriors Reward?
Yeah.
I feel like he did.
He stumbled out the gates that day.
Who? That must have been Musket Man's year, so that must have been that 2009? Is that Rachel Alexandra's year?
No. He was later than that.
He was later than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think,
It's hard to remember. It all starts to sort of blend into one. Now, you, as many people know, obviously had a long association with Carl Nafsker, and you galloped unbridled. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to gallop him. That's when I was young and skinny, and I thought I knew what I was doing. And
you've subsequently found out, like the rest of us, that we never knew as much as we thought we knew.
Well, I had a few lessons on the way.
Well, I mean, now, Unbridled's a horse. I think he might be one of those sort of forgotten good horses over the year, because obviously he won the Derby, he won the Breeders' Cup Classic. He was a great sire to Unbridled Song, among others. He was a tremendous racehorse.
He was. The thing about him, he was unbelievable. He was so laid back, and his talent was, probably the best race he ever ran, even though he won the Derby and he won the Breeders' Cup Classic, was the race he beat Helpsbuster, 7 furlongs at Gulfstream, was probably the most spectacular race.
Yeah, that wasn't. I'm thinking of the Tallahassee. What race was that? Tallahassee was a 6-furlong race.
It was. I think it was 7, and may have.
The sprint champ. I don't remember what they called it back then.
Was it the Deputy Minister?
It was the Deputy Minister. He ran down Housebuster, and of course people don't remember him. He's one of the best sprinters of the last 50 years.
Yeah, tremendous. Pat Day got along with him great. Of course, Craig Brett did when he won the Derby, but the horse had a tremendous turn of foot.
And Craig was probably riding Housebuster because he rode Housebuster.
He did. He took off and ride Housebuster.
That must have been pretty great, right? It's never bad at racing sometimes to rub it in, especially when it's your friends. I was thinking about having you on. Being a trainer, obviously, there's a lot of challenges. What is it about racing that sort of keeps you getting up in the morning and doing your job?
Good horses. That makes it easier. If you got up every morning and looked at 5,000 claimers, and nothing against them, if you can't enjoy a 5,000 claimer winning, you shouldn't be in the game. But when you have nice horses, and I've got good owners, I've got tremendous owners, it's a pleasure to get up, and it's just exciting.
And 2-year-olds? I mean, is that the most thrilling part, is the possibility that they offer?
Yeah, because you never see a man commit suicide with an unraced 2-year-old.
Now, obviously, you had a very good 2-year-old in your barn named McCracken last year, and we're going to actually have to take a quick break. And after the break, we're going to talk a bit with Ian about McCracken, who, of course, is really one of the major contenders in this Travers. So stay with us as we come right back at the Post Live, brought to you by Special Olympics New York.
Your station for New York sports, 104.5 The Team.
Sign up for Naira Bets and get up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus. With Naira Bets, you can play hundreds of tracks nationwide at any time using your computer or mobile device. And as a Naira Bets member, you get exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga. Sign up at NairaBets.com, enter promo code Andy200 to earn up to a $200 sign-up bonus. That's NairaBets.com, promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Since 2009, the Brave Will Foundation has been a driving force in the commitment to pediatric palliative care efforts in the greater capital region of New York. Help us support children facing challenging, life-threatening illnesses by celebrating willpower every day.
On sale now, Saratoga Clocker Reports from DRF's Mike Walsh and Mike Vesey, featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Visit drf.com/clocker for more. And new this summer, DRF Clocker Reports for Del Mar. Get them both now at drf.com/clocker.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships November 3rd and 4th promises to be the biggest racing event in the storied history of Del Mar. With global interest in the event and top thoroughbreds from all over the world, tickets have been selling quickly. There are still reserved seats for Breeders' Cup Friday, November 3rd, as well as tickets to the Taste of the Breeders' Cup Infield Festival both days, but all tickets must be purchased in advance. To purchase tickets, call 877-TIX4-CUP. That's 877-TIX4-CUP. Or go to breederscup.com/tickets and get your seat today.
Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. During Saratoga, Capital OTB has you covered, from live broadcasting on the backstretch to racing selections online and themed promotions. Capital OTB has over 70 branch and easy bet locations. Find a site map on capitalotb.com or open an account at capitalotbbet.com. CapitalOTBBet.com is Capital OTB's interactive account wagering platform with streaming, virtual tote board, handicapping tools, and more. Get in the game with Capital OTB. Belmont Child Care Association. Save the date for the 20th annual Racing for the Children Dinner and Auction. Belmont Child Care Association's Sugar Plum Soiree, honoring Paul Saylor, August 23rd at the Hall of Springs. BCCA assists the backstretch families by providing quality childcare and education for all the children of the working families of NYRA's thoroughbred racetracks every day of the week, year-round. Visit BCCA at www.belmontchildcare.org for more information and to make a donation.
Sign up for Naira Bets and get up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus. With Naira Bets, you can play hundreds of tracks nationwide at any time using your computer or mobile device. And as a Naira Bets member, you get exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga. Sign up at NairaBets.com, enter promo code Andy200 to earn up to a $200 sign-up bonus. That's NairaBets.com, promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
This is At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by Naira Bets and partners, the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series. The series continues at Saratoga with 4 win-and-you're-in races, plus live coverage of the Travers Stakes. Tune in to NBC on Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time to catch the Travers live. Visit breederscup.com for the latest tune-in information all summer long. And the Daily Racing Form on sale now. Saratoga Clocker Reports featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Available every day of the meet. Visit drf.com/clocker. Once again, happy to be joined by Ian Wilkes, joining us at the Post Live. And just want to let people know, we still have one show left next week. It'll be closing weekend. Jerry Bailey and Randy Moss will be joining us that night. Of course, Jerry with NBC. You'll catch him this weekend. And Jerry been here a number of times as well in the past. Todd Schrupp will be joining us because he's jealous that Simon came and he didn't get to come. Happy to have Todd on as well. Other guests to be coming as well. That'll be next Thursday night. But Ian, let's talk about McCracken and horses that keep you coming back. He's a horse that obviously he took a little time to sort of get going in the races, but he was maybe as talked about a 2-year-old at the end of last year as there was in the country.
Yeah, he's very precocious. When I finally got him to the races, he won like a good thing, which was nice. You know, for me to win with a first-time starter is pretty good.
Rare and good. And he won at Churchill, and then he went and won the Kentucky Jockey Club, right? After that, was his third start.
Third start. Won the Street Sense, which is a nice race to win, the Street Sense. A little overnight stake at Churchill, going a mile, and then we ran him in the Jockey Club.
And he, people do get excited about horses that win at Churchill Downs, obviously for Kentucky Derby, and the Street Sense, of course, named for a horse that you were very involved with training with Carl Nafsker as well. Yeah, he was a good horse. It sort of reminds you a little bit of this horse, the turn of foot. Street Sense had an unbelievable turn of foot, and what McCracken does as well. And McCracken, it's interesting watching him run because, he has this huge burst, and it feels like timing it properly has been something you have to figure out exactly.
Yeah, we've had a little hiccup on the way, and he's got an unbelievable turn of foot, this horse, and that really helps you in any of these races. When you run against good horses and you can accelerate like that, you can really play it to your advantage, and I have the utmost confidence in Brian. He'll get it done.
And so on the Triple Crown Trail, obviously, and I had seen you down in Florida, and he was training so well, and he won his first race in the Sam Davis, and then, of course, inevitably, the worry of every trainer going to the barn one morning going, he's not perfect, right?
Yeah. Had a small hiccup. I had a slight strain in the ankle. I probably could have ran him. At Tampa Bay, but I may not have liked the result. The horse had taken me there, so I had to take care of him. And it really put me a little bit behind, had me chasing my tail most of the time.
And he came back to the Bluegrass Stakes, and he didn't run badly, but he obviously didn't run as well as he had run in his prior races.
Yeah, we come back, and we were just probably come up a fraction short. We were a little too fresh. We were too anxious in the race. The horse left there running too much on the bit. Just never settled into his routine, and it paid a toll on him at the end there.
And the Derby, we were talking about it the other night at the draw. I know that there were a lot of excuses. He got cut up a little bit, but you said to me there were really no excuses.
Yeah, I can make excuses, but we got beat. Let's face the fact, Always Dreamin' was the best horse on that day. Everyone can go on about the track, how the track was, or anything like that, how rough the start was. Come on, we all got in the gates, we all come out there, we all had to have our trip, and we got beat.
Yeah, and I think, that's something, it's easier to look at it that way as opposed to saying what could have happened or should have happened, because obviously there's always a million ways things could have gone better.
Yeah, you could make yourself crazy making excuses, but let's face it, I've got a good horse, I believed in him, so I just had to back up, get him ready, and I just have to, as I said, coming for the second half of the year, I have to let the horse do the talking, not me.
And the Haskell, I can only imagine what it's like, obviously, training him and having the horse, and you put so much into it, because it looked like he was going to win that race until the very, very late stages.
Yeah.
Not to relive it for you, but
yeah,
too much.
Yeah. No, I thought the horse ran a winning race. He made a big move. He made a strong half-mile move. And I felt, and I'm not taking anything away from Durbin, he beat me. I felt my horse idled a little bit down the lane because I thought they were going to run by me and beat me half a length, but he come back and got beat a nose. So I really felt the horse is still learning. It was only his 8th start. I think that he's still catching on what to do when the pressure comes and keep going.
When you go to bed at night, do you sit and think how you hope the Travers works out, or you just sort of think, I just hope he's in front when they hit the wire?
It's funny, he's a horse that, he's always a horse that gives you confidence. He instills confidence in you. He's taken me here, and I've got the utmost confidence in this horse right now.
Do you talk to Brian much about sort of how to ride him, or you just sort of leave him alone and let him figure it out and figure he's good enough?
Well, I made a few mistakes through the year by trying to read races and picking out, who's the speed, who's not the speed. And I talked to Brian before the house guy. I said, Brian, you know this horse. I said, you just ride him. I said, trust the horse. That's what we have to get back to, is trust the horse. Know his strength, know his weakness, and let the horse do it. If we don't do that, we're going to take away everything from him. Do
you find sometimes, and I've talked with this other trainers too, especially with good horses, just don't take them out of their games, and sometimes you just have to hope for the best.
Yeah, you can't take them out of their games, because some days they'll come out and they'll want to be 3 out of it, 4 out of it. That's where they want to be. Some days they want to drop 6, 7, 8 back. Don't take it away. Let them be where they want to be, because they know, these good horses know, they're actually quite intelligent.
Yeah, well, we wish you the best of luck with McCracken, and hopefully the good luck that being on At the Post with us 6 years ago, and one of the first guests we had in the show actually was you. So Ian, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with McCracken this weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by Capital OTB. Go mobile at m.capitalotb.com. Bet. m.capitalotbbet.com. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB.
This is Roger Weiland, the host of Big Board Sports, weekdays from 10 to noon on 104.5 The Team.
Sign up for Naira Bets and get up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus. With Naira Bets, you can play hundreds of tracks nationwide at any time using your computer or mobile device. And as a Naira Bets member, you get exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga. Sign up at NairaBets.com, enter promo code Andy200 to earn up to a $200 sign-up bonus. That's NairaBets.com, promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Saratoga Community Health Center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Primary care, dental care, behavioral health services, and now addiction medicine. Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. On sale now, Saratoga Clocker Reports. From DRF's Mike Welsh and Mike Vesey, featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Visit drf.com/clocker for more. And new this summer, DRF Clocker Reports for Del Mar. Get them both now at drf.com/clocker. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. During Saratoga, Capital OTB has you covered, from live broadcasting on the backstretch to racing selections online and themed promotions. Capital OTB has over 70 branch and easy bet locations. Find a site map on capitalotb.com or open an account at capitalotbbet.com. CapitalOTBBet.com is Capital OTB's interactive account wagering platform with streaming, virtual tote board, handicapping tools, and more. Get in the game with Capital OTB. On sale now, Saratoga Clocker Reports. From DRF's Mike Welsh and Mike Vesey, featuring in-depth workout analysis for horses running at Saratoga. Visit drf.com/clocker for more. And new this summer, DRF Clocker Reports for Del Mar. Get them both now at drf.com/clocker.
Since 2009, the Brave Will Foundation has been a driving force in the commitment to pediatric palliative care efforts in the greater capital region of New York. Help us support children facing challenging, life-threatening illnesses by celebrating willpower every day.
Bet the country's best racing at Saratoga with the official betting site for Saratoga Racecourse, Naira Bets. Play Saratoga and hundreds of other tracks nationwide with Naira Bets on your computer or mobile device, at the track or on the go. Getting started is easy, and you can earn up to a $200 new member sign-up bonus by entering promo code Andy200. Once registered, choose one of our simple depositing options and start earning rewards on every bet, plus gain exclusive access to the Naira Bets Pick 5, offered daily on the late Pick 5 at Saratoga with a 15% takeout and 50-cent minimum. You can't always make it to the spa, so get your bets in anytime nationwide with Naira Bets. Start earning your $200 new member bonus to bet the best summer racing at NairaBets.com with promo code Andy200. That's NairaBets.com and promo code Andy200. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
This is At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
We are back with At the Post Live, brought to you by Naira Bets. Sign up to Naira Bets and get a $200 cash bonus. With Naira Bets, you can bet on any track from anywhere at any time. Use promo code Andy200 when you sign up at NairaBets.com. Naira Bets, racing's best play. We are out of time. Thank you for joining us in At the Post Live. We will see you here next Thursday. Have a wonderful Travers weekend.
You've been listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga. Presented by Naira Bets, live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga. Tonight's show was brought to you in part by Capital OTB and the Daily Racing Form. Join us next week for another hour of insider discussion about the Saratoga racing scene with Andy and his special guests. Remember to follow us on Twitter at the Post Live. This has been a production of Camden Entertainment. WTMM Mechanicville, a Town Square media station.
Hey, it's Goz from Levesque and Goz. Listen to us weekdays 2 to 7 on your home for New York sports, ESPN Radio 104.5 The Team.